First of all, I want to thank everybody for answering the call to come and take a stand for wild salmon. We know that the Cone Commission is looking into the reasons why there was the 2009 collapse of the wild salmon, and since then there has been a storm of controversial issues and matters that kind of zeroed in on the open net fish pens on the west coast. And one of the most menacing threats to our wild salmon happens to be the ISA virus and other diseases. That's not the only one. All around the world, the fish farm industry has had serious challenges in containing diseases. And that's because they can't be controlled, those diseases. They mutate, especially the viruses, and they become superbugs. And they become contagious, and they infect the wild salmon. And not only the wild salmon, but trout and herring in our west coast here. So it's a very serious thing. And we have learned that the ISA virus is in the waters of British Columbia. That is pretty serious. And there has been cover-ups, by DFO. They didn't reveal a 1994 study that was done that showed that there was ISA virus, infectious salmon anemia virus, all along the coast of BC and in our Stalo territory. We're in Cultus Lake. 64 out of 64, 100% of the samples that were taken were. They found in that study that they had ISA virus. At no time did they consult the Stalo people or anyone else. They kept the lid on it. Even through the Cohen inquiry, they knew about this study, and they were asked by Bruce Cohen to produce information that was pertinent to the issue. And they didn't reveal it. Why? Why didn't they do that? They're covering it up. They're holding secrets, and they're protecting the aquaculture industry. That's why. And we don't know who gave them the mandate to promote, support, protect, and regulate the aquaculture industry, when it's their #1 priority to take care of the wild salmon and the marine environment. That's their principal duty. So it's evident that there's a conflict of interest here, a very serious one, and it has created a lot of distrust among the trading partners Canada is engaged with, particularly in the United States. And now there's a growing number of Canadians who have a lot of distrust of what the DFO is doing with this conflict of interest. Somewhere it appears that based on the behavior of the DFO, we can only come to a conclusion that they don't want wild salmon anymore. That's how serious it can be. That's how threatening it is. And once that takes place, if they continue on business as usual, expand, keep going, keep those fish farms growing, the higher the risks are for our wild salmon. And this must stop. We cannot allow this to continue anymore. We have to take this stand, you know, for wild salmon. All this information is coming together even before the Cone Commission is ended. The only reason why they extended this Cone Commission to look into the ISA virus for 3 days, that's today, that's tomorrow, and Monday, is because of the recent findings that came out about the ISA and the controversy, the science. The science is, the scientific world is in turmoil right now over this issue. They're debating, you know, does ISA exist or not? Some say there's proof that it does exist. Others say, no, that's false positive. Some people say there's non-conclusive evidence. But where there's smoke, a lot of smoke like this, there's something behind it. And many of our First Nations fishermen and women, they've been finding salmon that look diseased. They're yellow jaundice looking salmon with lesions on them. That is very disturbing to us, because that's the main sustenance, and it affects our health. So this alarming issue isn't, it doesn't appear to be taken as seriously as it should be by the federal government. And if it is being taken seriously, what they're doing is keeping secrets, covering up, and protecting the aquaculture industry instead of our sacred wild salmon. That supports not only First Nations people, but it also provides a boost to the economy with sports fishermen and the commercial fisheries. And it also, the wild salmon also supports the ecosystem in so many different ways.
Here, here.
And if we have no wild salmon, then it's going to be an ecological disaster. Unimaginable. A very sad state of affairs. And this river, this river, the Fraser River, mightiest river in the world almost, one of them, will be a commodity, perhaps only used for producing electricity that will go to the United States. We can't have that. We can't have that happen. So it is a responsibility, not only for us as Aboriginal people, as Wilmot, but every Canadian should step up and take a little bit of the responsibility that is needed to protect our wild salmon. So we're going to sing a song in honor of wild salmon. And we're going to march over to Mark Strahl's office, and we're going to deliver a message. We're going to provide Mark Strahl, as constituents of his riding, some direction on what he needs to tell the Honourable Keith Ashfield, the Minister of Fisheries and Oceans, and also Prime Minister Stephen Harper. They both need to be told what needs to be done to protect our wild salmon. No more Atlantic fish eggs coming to BC. Start testing salmon in the hatcheries and in the salmon farms, and make sure that testing is done independently and where there's transparency and accountability. No secrets or cover-ups. Before the young juvenile salmon head out to the waters in March, out into the ocean, the small juveniles, all the fish from the fish farms need to be taken out of there so that they don't have to go through this gauntlet of pollution, sea lice amplification, and diseases. And from there, they need to start dismantling, the fish farms and start moving them into containment on land. Those are the messages that need to be driven home to the federal government. And Stephen Harper and his whole cabinet need to know, although they hold a majority in the House of Commons now, it may not last. And if they continue ignoring what really needs to be done, they're going to lose power. So I want to once again thank everybody for coming. Thank you, Glenn Mahoney, for coming. And so now we have these posters. I just want to mention that there has been some deaths in our communities. I did meet with the leadership of both Stalo Nation and also with Stalo Tribal Council and the Stalo Research and Resource Center here, and they have that alliance, to take the stand that we're taking here today. So we know that Mark Strahl isn't at his office right now, but we are going to go over to his constituency office and deliver the message that needs to be given to him. Some instructions, direction that he needs to take from us and bring it to Prime Minister Stephen Harper and the Honorable Chief Ashfield. So we'll proceed now and head out to Mark's office.